Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are here interviewing today for our health series, Teresa Barnes. She is a nurse, founder of Hear Communication, and a developer of Hearing Friendly Business training course, as well as an author and podcast owner of Sound Advice. So you are a very well-rounded, lots of expertise in the hearing world. Welcome. We are so happy to have you.
Thank you, Anna. It's been a pleasure being on. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you a few questions today, and I want to start off by sharing with our followers a little bit about your background and your personal story with hearing loss.
Well, I was born with congenital hearing loss. I had my first hearing test in Morocco, Africa, eons ago.
Wow.
I didn't get my first set of hearing aids until after nursing school at age 22 years old, even though I needed them early on. And then I am a former emergency room department manager, so I didn't know I had a hearing loss. And according to a Johns Hopkins study, they say it's 1 in 5 Americans have hearing loss. So if you're ever feeling alone, do not. Because if you take that extrapolation, then 65 million Americans have hearing loss, just like you and I. So I have a 50% hearing loss. We'll just sum it up that way. It's 53 and 57.
Okay.
And so I went on a ski trip with my children, and some giant man crashed into me from behind because I didn't hear that he was yelling to the right.
Oh.
And that's what started all this. So this logo that you see behind me, you can wear that on a hat, on the front, on the back. If you're bicycling, you can wear it back here,
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're in a business meeting, you can wear it up here. Or even if you're someone who has hearing loss is invisible. And so we can wear something like this so people can see it. So that's why I started all this, a different way to care for the world rather than emergency room medicine. So
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's a really great solution for everyday people, even with hearing aids that
right.
still have a loss and may not be able to hear the best that everyone else with a total hearing can. And so having something that the other half of the world can see visually on your shirt or on your hat that would indicate for them some basic manners of how to talk with somebody who might have a hearing loss. Could you maybe cover just a few tips of how to talk to someone with a hearing loss?
Well, when I get my hearing friendly training business and certification program, then I teach, we'll just call them hearing people or hearing well people. I teach them to know to talk to us face to face. For the millennials who normally talk at 150 miles an hour, which I can talk that fast, but I can't hear that fast with my broken ear working. I remind them to talk at a pace of it's about a 4 count. So in CPR, we do doop, 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 Dan alive, doop, 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 Dan alive. And so really at that rhythm. And then to have the hearing impaired persons or the hearific and terrific individuals, which is a new term I've come up with, have the lighting at our back. So even if somebody's in the hospital room, a physician will usually have their back at the window, and then the patient is in the bed trying to lip read, and we can't lip read. And if someone is really looking at you intently, I mean, they're really looking and right at your lip, they're probably lip reading whether they know it or not, or whether they want to admit it or not. And then the other thing is just to be kind, be compassionate, and realize that it takes us a minute or two, or maybe less, to figure out we're still on maybe sentence one when you've already progressed to sentence 5. So you need to clarify what you heard and to make sure you've heard it right from both sides.
Sounds good. Great tips. So I will be posting all of your business information in the description of this video as well. So I can put the link to your podcast and the link to your book, as well as your Hear Communications website. And so if anybody has any further questions or wants to do some more research on the topic of your business, we can put those links here below, and you can definitely take a look into those some more. I was actually reading on your website, on your blog post, you had a couple topics that were very interesting to me. They were the 3 key ways to reduce and improve your hearing loss. And so the top number 1 was foods that you can eat that are hearing healthy. Now, this is very interesting to me because this isn't really talked about a lot. So do you want to cover that a little bit?
Sure. Well, there are 4 basic minerals that we're supposed to have for good ear health, and that's
Okay.
magnesium, potassium, folate, and zinc. And they're now also including iron. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So in my book, Sound Advice, Tune In to Listening, on the hardcover, I have a whole list of those tips that you just asked me about. And I also have a whole chapter on this particular topic. So, of course, the green leafy vegetables are one of them because I'm going to back up a little bit and you'll appreciate this being in the audiology field. In the audiology, they have the speech banana, which is where people have a hearing loss maybe between 50 to 60 decibels. And that's where they're missing their vowels and consonants. Well, the banana is the number 1 ear healthy food because it
Oh,
has, yeah, so I just thought I'd throw that in.
yeah.
So anyway, it has the magnesium, it has the potassium, and it has the folate. And then dark chocolate has the zinc in it. And what zinc does is it actually coats the cochlear hair cells,
Oh,
or cilia, as we call it in the medical field.
yeah.
But it actually coats them. So, noise is the number 1 cause of hearing loss. So if you make your ear cells a little stronger
Yeah.
by eating not too much dark chocolate, but dark chocolate. And then also red wine has resveratrol in it. And most people know that that's good for heart health, but it's also good for ear health because it helps it helps vasodilate or make the blood vessels bigger. And so then therefore the nutrients get in, the waste goes out. And so then therefore more the food can do. So the green leafy vegetables, this Popeye, the spinach man,
Yeah.
and I love kale. And kale is actually my number 1 green one because it has everything in it. So that's
Okay.
another thing.
Good. We'll have to look up some new kale recipes. And I
Well,
want to just,
maybe I'll start doing that with my time at home,
there you
creating a
go.
ear healthy cookbook.
Yeah. I wanted to just give our followers a quick little snippet into our friendship. So we were actually introduced because I am the graphic designer here for ASI, and I created a graphic that she's talking about, this speech banana chart. And Teresa reached out to me and said, "Hey, can I use your graphic in my book?" And I said, "Absolutely, that's awesome." And so we kind of stayed in touch ever since. And so that's where our friendship kind of started off. And I'm proud to be your friend. And
Thank you.
yeah,
But she also created this design cover too.
I did.
So just so you're aware. And it's on Amazon.
Great. Yes, I'll put
Advice,
that
tune
link too.
into listening. Okay.
Perfect. Great. Okay, so then that was number 1. 2 and 3 I kind of rounded together because they have to do with uh, personal care products and health or medication drugs that can affect your hearing loss.
Okay. Well, there's a product called sodium lauryl sulfate, and it has 22 different chemical names.
Wow.
I don't know all of them, just so you know. But there's a site called S like in Sam, L like in love, S like in Sam.com.
Okay.
And that site lists what products are healthy for you. Because there is so if you wash your hair, your body is your largest organ. And
Mhm.
most people don't think of your body as an organ, but it is. And so if you wash your hair with a product that has sodium lauryl sulfate in it, and there is one, which I'm not going to name the name, but it begins with L. And on the front it says sulfate free. And me being the nurse I am, I flipped over the back and there it was, sodium lauryl sulfate. So obviously I didn't buy that one, even though it said sulfate free on the front. And so you wash your hair, or in men's cases, they shave their face. I'm going to go ahead and say names. So the other one was L'Oreal. This one was Gillette. So if you shave your face with Gillette,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of hearing aid users, are in the more mature group, and that absorbs in your skin. And what it does, and the same way goes for you ladies that use lipstick or makeup, it has sodium lauryl sulfate in it. So you want to use products, now that we know about this, because we didn't in the past, you want to use products that don't have sodium lauryl sulfate in it. Because again, it's just like Pac-Man. It eats away the cochlear hair cell
Oh,
insidiously. Yeah, so that's something that a lot of people don't know. Then there are 200 autotoxic medication, and auto is just a Latin word for ear. That's all it is.
okay.
So there are 200 ear toxic medicines. And if it's a matter of saving your life, then of course take it
Yeah.
because you can always learn sign language. um, but one of the top ones that are listed in the physician's desk reference, because you will see conflicting information if you Google search this, just so you're aware.
Okay.
So, but in the physician's desk reference, Zithromax or Z-Pak, which are now treating in some exploratory stuff for the coronavirus, it can wipe out your hearing overnight. I know a lady here locally. She was an NBC reporter one day, and she is now has a cochlear implant. The thing just zipped
Wow.
out her hearing. Okay, so there are 200 different ones. So if you have a medication that you're on, then go on Google and find out. Just Google, is this medicine ear toxic? And that's an easy way to do it. I do teach classes for nurses because I am a nurse. And I'm also going to give availability for those people that have questions. But I will be doing it from the perspective of you need to check with your physician or healthcare provider.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there are 200 of them, and
Wow.
Z-Pak's the number one, and
Okay.
they're now treating that. Just
That is all fascinating information. A lot of more in-depth information than what the basic of what I already knew. So thank you for sharing all of that information. That is very helpful. Okay, unless you have any other tidbits or topics you want to add, I am going to talk about our giveaway that we're going to be doing.
okay. Sounds like a plan.
Okay,
But
so we are going to be doing a giveaway. We have several things that we have agreed we are going to do. So if you are watching this video, whether it's on our social media or our website, give us a comment below. Let us know that you're watching, and that is your entry. You can post a GIF or an emoji or just comment something. Let us know if you have any questions. That is your entry into the giveaway. For this video, we are giving away a grocery store gift card, and Teresa has also generously donating a copy of her book, Sound Advice. And she also is going to be giving away a 15-minute free call with any questions that you might have. Did I say that correctly?
we could even do it as Zoom now because I'm in California and some people with hearing loss have a hard time hearing.
Okay.
so so I have done Zoom in the past, but I have found the Zoom to be phenomenal. So
Perfect. So either a Zoom meeting or a phone call meeting,
yeah.
however you can set it up as a meeting to talk with you for 15 minutes and ask any questions they might have. And
Oh, and the other thing I want to share with your audience here is there is an app. You can use your smartphone depending on what you have, but there's also an app called Ava, like in victory, A.com. And it gives you instant captioning, both where if a speaker is speaking up at a podium, then you can connect with them and then see whatever they're saying on your smartphone. And
oh,
then if you're having, when we get, and because now we're doing 6 feet of social distancing,
mhm.
if you have the app and the person 6 feet away has the app, then you can just talk into your phone and then you read what the other person is saying. So
Wow.
it's a way of staying this was out before everything, but that's another way to stay connected. And when you get back together with Thanksgiving dinner with your family, when the hard of hearing person is sitting down at the end of the table, being excluded, we want to include them. So use the ABA app.
That is awesome. I did not know that. That is
Yeah.
perfect. I will be sharing that for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, comment below. Let us know that you're watching to be entered to win all of these wonderful prizes. And I think that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a really true pleasure. And we will talk with you soon.
Thank you very much, Anne. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good day.
Bye.